This is an extremely neglected cataract which presented as a phacolytic glaucoma. So I plan to do an manual SICS in this case. No idea what to expect. The anterior chamber, as you can see, is completely filled with cortical material and exudates. So after doing the peritomy and cautery, I go ahead and fashion my frown incision about 2 millimeters posterior to the limbus. Then taking my crescent blade, I go along the incision, first making initial cut or dissection, getting the plane, and then very carefully following along the plane. As you can see, my dissection is essentially sidewards and backwards, and there is only very minimal forward movement. Once you get into the cornea, you have to change direction, and once you get into the cornea, the dissection becomes much easier. So about 2 millimeters on this sclera, 2 millimeters in the cornea. I then, without entering the AC, enter the chamber through the side port and through my keratome. I don't extend at this point. I now wash off all this debris from the anterior chamber with BSS, and there you can see a very constricted pupil. So I initially put in some trypan glue under air, expel both. In these cases, you have to think what to do, how to go about it. There are options, and I have taken this option. I have opened the anterior chamber partially, and you will understand why. So I take angled vanas and do multiple sphincterotomies. Now it's okay to do the sphincterotomies in the inferior part of the iris, but when it comes to the superior part, it is going to be difficult because you have a valved incision there. So again put in some viscoelastic, and now look through the side port, enter with my keratome, and then take my angled vanas. Now I have access and try to make 2 sphincterotomies, in fact 3, the superior part. So I have made 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and I am trying to make it 9 as well. That peripheral sphincterotomy was not good, so I did it from the superior side. Now I have got about 6 sphincterotomies, and yet the pupil is not that enlarged. So once I put in HPMC, I am now doing my initial capsulotomy. I expect this nucleus to be slightly subluxated. There is no way the zonules are going to be that great. So after doing the initial puncture, I'm still trying to continue. I have been able to do it up to some extent. Can't do it more than that. So I stone a bit, and I take this part and tear it across. So I am going to scallop and try to get a crude rhexis. I am not here to make a aesthetically good looking rhexis. It just has to be functional. It has to be a capsulotomy rather than a rhexis. Once done, there is no way I am going to take out the nucleus through this capsulotomy, so I am making relaxing incisions as well. So I do one through the side port, couldn't do the other one, so I will go through the main incision and do the other one as well. Once you have 2 relaxing incisions, it becomes much safer. Don't do this step with the scissors. You can rotate it with something else safer. Anyway, I've done it. Now I do the pickup technique in these cases, and I'm trying to pull out and it's not coming out. I completely forgot that I haven't extended the incision, and I go ahead and extend it now. And that's it. It comes out very easily. There's no cortex. There must be some debris. However, I'm not going to try and aspirate at this time. I will first put in my rigid PMMA lens and I am trying to target the sulcus. I'm not going to go in the back. And funny, it's when you try to target the sulcus, it invariably goes into the back. So I have to check that it is not going into the back. I am adjusting it with my Sinski hook and you can see that capsular tags coming over it. That has to be under. Just bringing down the pupil as well. And these have to be done gently under HPMC. If you had two side ports, it's much easier. Unfortunately, I have just one. I should have put in another one. It would have made my job easier. Anyway, there I have just brought the optic over those tags. Once I've got the lens into position, I go with very low flow with my Sinski and aspirate whatever little free cortex, debris, whatever is there, and the HPMC as well. Go with very, very low flow. You really do not know what's happening with that capsule underneath. So you have to be careful. And I put in my intracameral, then I decide, no, let me check. I put in some triamcinolone into the anterior chamber, wash it off. And this serves two purposes. One, it will tell me if there is vitreous in the anterior chamber, and two, it will probably help in the post-op inflammation, whatever. And once that's done, I wash it off, give in my subconjunctival and conclude my surgery. I put an atropine as well. Thank you so much for watching.
In this video, I will be